Hi Aries, welcome back to the channel. Monica Louv here at the Love Messages. So today we are going to do your reading for the month of February. This is going to be a general reading, so it may resonate, it may not. In this reading, I'm going to take a look at past, present, and future for you. I'm going to clarify the cards and pull some advice. Okay, your challenge, Aries, Two of Swords. And what you don't see coming at the bottom of the deck, you have the King of Swords upright. Okay? So for you, Aries, your biggest challenge here is the Two of Swords. Okay? So the Two of Swords is talking about a blocked energy. Okay? So either you could be feeling blocked by someone, maybe you've blocked someone, or maybe you've blocked yourself from seeing something here, like the truth or reality, or not wanting to see something for what it is. So it's almost as if you're not aware of something. And this is going to be a big part of your challenge, because your challenge is asking you to maybe be open to something, or not to be closed off to something. We're going to see as we clarify this. But the challenge here is being closed off. Okay, and not seeing something for what it is. Yeah, I'm going to clarify it in a minute, and we'll get more information on that for you. Now, in the recent past, you have the Lovers, you have the Star, and you have the Four of Pentacles. Okay, so in the recent past, I do feel that you had a very strong belief in love. You believed that you would meet the one, you would have a soulmate, you would get married one day, even if you've already been married. Some of you met somebody here who just really swept you off your feet. Like you really thought, this is the one I want to be with. The Star is here as well too. So it's almost as if this person that you met in the past, it was a dream come true is what I'm getting. Like you met this person, wow, we just hit it off so well, everything was great, everything was amazing, and you truly believed that you would hold on to this person forever. Okay, so things looked great here in the past. We're going to find out more about this in a minute. Now, in the present moment, you have the Fool, you have the Four of Cups, and you have the Five of Cups. Okay? So in the present moment, there is this new beginning that's happening, okay? Or there's a need for a new beginning. There's a feeling of, oh, I need to start new. I need to do things differently. I need to, or some of you just simply started something recently new. I see you taking this leap of faith on your own, doing things on your own, taking risks on your own, following through and pursuing things on your own. The reason why I see this is because in the present moment, no matter how much you try to work things out with people, no matter how many times you try to be included or involved with certain people, it just doesn't seem to work out for you. I'm also getting here that the reason why you're choosing to go on your own and do things on your own is because something in the present moment happened where you were so disappointed. You were so disappointed at the fact that somebody did something to you and it really affected your confidence within the relationship. It affected your confidence in relation to just trusting and believing people. I'm also getting that for many of you in the present moment, there's this feeling of rejection, or there's this feeling of not being appreciated in the present moment for maybe things that you've done for somebody, etc. Right? So one of the things that I mentioned before is, people's actions are really how they feel about you. It's not what they say to you. It's not the promises that they make to you. It's their actions. It's their behavior that corresponds with how somebody truly feels. And I think that's what you're learning in the present moment. And this could be the reason why you're choosing to have a new beginning on your own. Okay, and we're going to clarify this and get more information in a minute. Now, in the near future, you have the Three of Pentacles, you have the Eight of Swords, and you have the Devil. Immediately, what comes to my mind with this combination is no man is an island. No man is an island. Okay. There's something that's really out of control here in the near future. I'm not quite sure what it is. It could be a relationship. It could be a collaboration, a partnership. Some of you are working with somebody here in the near future, and even though you're working with this person, it feels like you're doing a lot on your own. It's almost as if you're taking a majority of the burden, majority of the responsibility, and it's really maybe affected your ability to trust and believe in it. There's something unhealthy here, something unhealthy or something toxic here with the Devil. And whether you're aware of this or not, Saturn is entering into your sign in the next few days, depending on when you watch this, okay? Neptune has already entered from January 26th. So your life has been very foggy lately. It's been very it's like a blanket of cloud has covered your life and your day-to-day life and just, you in general. And there's been a lack of clarity on maybe your future, your life, where things are going. But something comes to light here in the near future, especially once Saturn enters into your sign and touches. It's going to do, I think on the 14th, don't quote me, you can check online, but it's going to do a 0-degree conjunction, Neptune with Saturn. So there's something that, has been disillusioning you, something that hasn't been clear, something that's just been really foggy for you. And when Saturn touches Neptune, it's going to say, see, this is the issue. This is what you've been ignoring. Two of Swords. Two of Swords is a ignoring energy. I'm not going to notice it. I'm going to pretend it doesn't exist. I'm going to, so you can only pretend and ignore something for so long until it becomes a big problem. I do feel, unfortunately, in the near future, there is going to be that comes up, and it has a lot to do with a collaboration or a partnership that you're in. What comes to the forefront, either you or this person, someone here feels that they're doing all the work or majority of the work, and they feel alone in this partnership. So I feel there's going to be renegotiations that happen here in the near future, okay? And it needs to happen because something is unhealthy. It's toxic. I'm getting this picture of like dirt that's been like mold, that's been like sitting there, and you finally realize, wow, I need to take this out, or I need to change this, or I need to wash this, or I need to, there's something here that you need to tend to that you've been ignoring here, okay? So that's what I see in the near future. Of course, when I clarify the cards, we'll get more information on that. All right. What you don't see coming at the bottom of the deck, you have the King of Swords, and the King of Swords with the Three of Swords. Somebody here is trying to be very logical about their pain. They're trying to say, well, this is why I act like this because, I went through this, and, this person did this to me, and therefore this is why I'm like there's no feelings here. Okay. And I don't know if this is you or someone you're dealing with. I feel this could be you with Saturn entering into your sign. Like you become cold. Because of what you've went through, because of the things that you've gone through, right? So there's always a saying, right? Don't harden your heart. And maybe that's the message here in terms of what you need to hear. I don't know, but we'll see as we get into the reading, okay? All right, let's get into your reading, Aries. Let's see what's going on for you. So your challenge, the Two of Swords, that is clarified by the Star. You have the High Priestess and you have the Knight of Wands. So your biggest challenge for you, Aries, has a lot to do with your future. It has a lot to do with the path that you're on. It has a lot to do with your intuition, your inner voice, listening to your inner voice, not ignoring your intuition. With Neptune being in your sign for the next 14 years, you are going to have an advantage. And what your advantage is that you're going to be very psychic. You're going to be very in touch with spirituality. The High Priestess is connected to Neptune, Pisces energy. So your message here is not to ignore your intuition. When your intuition tells you something, it's very important that you listen to it. You don't shy away from that. If you feel lost and you don't know where you're going, you don't know the direction of your life, you don't know what's happening, your inner voice is going to tell you the direction that you need to take. And it's your job, which is a part of your challenge, to take action on that feeling. Don't ignore it, because a lot of you have been ignoring things. They're very obvious things, and you keep ignoring them. And if you're not ignoring them and you're in touch with your intuition, then you're past this energy. But majority of you are getting this energy because majority of you are still needing to tap into that intuition of yours, okay? Also, if you've been dealing with somebody who's been on and off with you, player-like tendencies, in and out, on and off, and you're questioning whether or not you're going to have a future with this person, the answer is probably you're not, if you feel that this person's inconsistent with you. People don't change, okay? Unfortunately, as much as we like to believe, when people have behaviors, for them to change those behaviors, it takes a lot. And most people don't do self-work on themselves today because people just want to be basic. Unfortunately, people want to be basic, they want to do the minimal, and they want the most for nothing. So, if you're dealing with somebody who's been inconsistent with you, there's a reason why you feel like blocking them. There's a reason why you feel like not talking to them, or there's a reason why they've blocked you and they don't want to talk to you. And, it's because of what you know within yourself as to why that's happening. You probably know 100% why it's happening. And there's really nothing more to it. So your biggest challenge here is to listen to your inner voice. And the reason why it's important for you to listen to your inner voice is because your future is going to thank you for that. Your future self is going to thank you for that. Instead of going into the future and saying, I knew this was going to happen, I knew it was going to be like this, I knew, you already knew, but you chose to ignore it. And that's going to be a big part of your challenge, okay? Some of you are giving somebody chance after chance after chance after chance, and no matter how many times you give this person a chance, they don't change. And that's why Saturn is entering into your sign, to teach you how to have boundaries, to teach you how to take responsibility for yourself, to teach you that nothing you do in life impulsively will work out for you unless you really think about it from a mature perspective. Also, it's interesting, I think Mars is in Capricorn now, and Saturn is going to enter into your sign in a few days. So there's something here about having more structure in your life, seeing things for what they are, taking your time. Don't be in a rush to do stuff. That's a big part of your challenge, okay? All right. Okay, so the star is here, okay? So in the recent past, the star is clarified by the Justice, the Ten of Wands, and the Two of Swords, okay? So in the recent past, something in your life became very difficult, extremely difficult, burdensome. And many of you ignored it. Many of you said, I don't want to see this. I'm just going to ignore it. I'm going to pretend like it doesn't exist. Even though you had an ability to maybe resolve the situation or make it better, you may have chosen not to make it better. Okay. So you chose to maybe ignore it and pretend like it wasn't there. And many of you just moved on with your life and said, I'm just going to move on with my life. I'm going to pretend like this doesn't exist. It's not a problem. And that is a problem. By ignoring things that you need to face, it is a problem. This is why I do this channel, because, I'm a realist. It is what it is. I'm a realist. I'm somebody who, I'm going to just tell you in your face. Many people think I'm an Aries. I'm not an Aries. I actually don't have any planets in Aries other than the ones that are transiting my 7th house. But, you should be a realist. You know, if you're an Aries and you're not a realist, then there's something wrong, because usually Aries is very straight up. Maybe somebody wasn't real with you. I don't know. But something got difficult here. You closed yourself off, and maybe you wanted justice and you didn't receive the justice that you truly needed or felt you deserved. I do feel this has a lot to do with a relationship in the past. It did come to an end. A relationship that you thought was going to move to the next level. There was some sort of significant ending here that happened. I'm also getting that in the recent past, you believed that things would change and things would get better. And I feel like they did get better for you. Life did improve significantly when you started to maybe ignore a problem or accept an ending here in the past. And I feel a new opportunity came in. A lot of you spent a lot of time on your own here in the past in connection to a new opportunity. Okay, let's talk about the present moment. I just saw 555 on the clock, so there's going to be significant changes. And for some of you, these changes have already happened or started. I feel these changes are going to happen, Aries, when you start this new thing that you're doing. You're starting something new, or you've been starting something new. And that's going to lead to significant shifts in your life, especially once Saturn enters into your sign, Sun, Moon, or Rising. So this new beginning, the Fool, that is clarified by, you have the Queen of Cups, you have the Four of Cups, and you have the Eight of Cups. So in the present moment, some of you are dealing with the water sign, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, okay, or somebody who has significant water in their chart, even though, you know, they could be a fire sign, but maybe they have a stellium in Cancer, or maybe they have Venus in Cancer, or they have a moon in Scorpio, something like this, right? So you're dealing with somebody who, I don't want to say that this person doesn't know what they want. Maybe it's as if somebody wants you, but then they act like they don't want you. And then, you know, they may threaten that they're going to leave, they're going to go. When you think you're going to have a new beginning with this person, it doesn't happen. So there's been a lot of inconsistencies with a particular person that you've been dealing with. This is somebody new who's come into your life, or somebody that you are trying to have a new beginning with in the present moment. I see this person, it's like they're rejecting you, or, you know, sometimes they're emotionally available and then sometimes they're not emotionally available. And then, you know, sometimes they're there and then, you know, so there's an inconsistency here. And this is maybe why your challenge is the Two of Swords, because many of you are saying, you know, I'm just going to block this person. I'm going to pretend like they don't exist. Very similar to what you did in the past. You know, if something didn't work or it didn't function the way that you wanted it to, you said, okay, to hell with this, I'm going to move on, you know? So I think that's what really is happening for a lot of you in the present moment. You have the Four of Cups, that's clarified by the Queen of Pentacles. You have the Nine of Swords, and you have the Seven of Cups. So in the present moment, the reason why you've also closed yourself off to this person is because you don't want to feel like an option when it comes to them. Some of you end up finding out that this person's been treating you as an option, and their behavior is reflecting that. Okay. I'm getting a Virgo here, a Capricorn, an Aquarius, a Cancer, or a Scorpio. That's what I'm getting here. Okay. So it's going to be your choice, depending on what you decide. I feel you keep giving somebody here chance after chance after chance after chance after chance. Because you believe that no matter what happened between you and this person, you both can get over it and move on. But I feel whatever's happened in the present moment is very significant, and there's a lot of emotions attached to the situation, right? So the Two of Swords here is saying you need to not ignore something that you already know. Many of you already know what this person's doing. So if you feel that this person's cheating, they probably are. If this person is saying they're going to do something but they don't do it, they're probably not going to do it, right? So there's something that's happening in the present moment that, and again, I keep reiterating this, especially as we move into a new cycle. Stop believing what people say. Just stop. Okay, if somebody says, listen, I'm the most amazing person in the world, I'm going to save you from trauma, I'm going to save you from the next catastrophe in the world, like, don't even believe that person, because they're all talk, no action. Actions are the butter of a sandwich, okay? The cheese, the continents in a sandwich, okay? That's what makes a sandwich, people's actions, not what they say, okay? So I feel in the present moment, somebody's behavior, their actions, the way that they're responding to you, that's who they really are. And there's no point in you pretending anymore and thinking, well, you know, I'm just going to ignore this and hope it goes away and things are going to improve. Like, this false hope is fake. We need to see reality for what it is. And that's what Saturn is going to do when it enters into your sign. It's going to say, look, see, this is the truth. This is the reality. You can take responsibility and accept the reality for what it is, or you can, you know, continue to lie to yourself. So it's very obvious here that you may decide to say, you know what, this is how I feel about this situation. This is what I believe. And maybe it's best for me to move on my own. I see you giving this person a second chance, even though they've shown you they don't deserve one. Okay, so it's going to be your choice, but that's what I'm seeing in the present moment. Now, for those of you who ignore the signs, you ignore your intuition, you ignore all the things that I've told you in this reading, don't come back and say, Monica, you were right. Don't come back 2 months later and say you were right. You all know that I'm right. You all know that what I predict on this channel, 99.99999%, it usually comes true. And it's sad because people come a year later and say, well, why didn't I watch this a year later? Okay. Judgment. Judgment. Okay. So something is going to come to your attention and you won't be able to run from it anymore. It will come to your attention. The Eight of Swords and the Devil here, it's going to be really obvious that a lot of you are carrying the weight on your own. And what you're going to learn very quickly in life, okay, this is what Saturn's going to teach you in the next 2.5 years, 3 years. Saturn's going to teach you that you need to take responsibility for yourself. Stop expecting others to do the work for you. Stop expecting things from other people and then being disappointed when they don't follow through with them, okay? You need to create the standards for your life and what is important to you. The Devil is here twice in the near future, which is a stark warning for you that something that you've let go, something that has been very unhealthy and toxic that you've been ignoring, is going to come to the surface. It needs to happen because it needs to come to an end. Something here needs to close out, something that's been very, very toxic. You know what this is. It can be a person, behavior, attitudes, engaging with the wrong people. Maybe it's your attitude, maybe it's your behavior. I don't know what it is. You are the one that has to be honest with yourself. Okay, I can only predict so much with a general reading. The Devil here is clarified by the Page of Swords. You have the Knight of Wands and the Death. Yeah, you're going to see something within yourself or within a situation that you're involved in, and you're going to say, you know what? I can't ignore this anymore. I simply just can't ignore this anymore. You're going to see, okay, how do I put this? It's like, I'm going to use this analogy so that I get my point across. Doesn't mean it's going to resonate with you or not. Okay, just use the analogy. Okay, the example. An analogy is an example. It's like me painting a picture for you to better understand what message I'm trying to convey to you, get across to you. It's like when you know somebody's cheating on you, you know somebody's a liar, you know they're a cheater, you know that they're somebody who just sticks it anywhere and goes anywhere and does whatever. But then one day you come home and you open your bedroom door and boom, you actually see it for yourself. That's what's happening to you in the near future. You're going to see something that you knew was happening all along, but you ignored it. You pretend like it wasn't a big deal. You may have said, oh, this is just a fantasy. That's what Neptune is doing to you right now. Neptune being in your sign is creating this fog and this illusion and this dreamy energy of, ooh, you know, Cinderella vibes, until Saturn claps down and Saturn goes there and Saturn says, nope, see, this is the truth. And you're like, what? Blimey me, I wasn't expecting it to be like this. That's what the Devil is here with the Page of Swords, the King of Wands, and the Death. It's like, oh, this is done now. I've seen everything that I need to see. Some of you hire an investigator, or you hire someone, or you find something out, you start doing research and you find out the truth and you're like, wow, I can't ignore this anymore. You're also, for some of you, you're going to receive an important message from someone. And when this energy of you feeling alone, some of you feel alone in the future, like you feel this deep, deep energy of like solitude, isolation, you know, this fear of being alone. When you least expect it, there's an unexpected message that comes in that also may reveal the truth to you. And I'm sorry to say, Aries, but you're going to say to yourself, you know what, why did I ignore this situation? Why did I ignore this? Why did I ignore this? Why did I ignore it? Please do not ignore your intuition. Please. Okay? Message is going to come in unexpectedly, and it's going to show you, look, this is the issue. You need to deal with it now. You need to deal with this now. And if you had dealt with this situation 8 years ago, 8 weeks ago, 8 months ago, 8 days ago, 8 hours ago, depending on when you watch this, because there's no time frame on this. Even though I said it's for February, there's no time frame, because if you watch this in the middle of February, at the end of February, it's not going to make a difference. The message is what counts. When you finally get this message, you're going to say, oh, now I need to take action. This is part of your challenge. Okay, the Knight of Wands. Knight of Wands is part of your challenge. You taking action on your intuition, your inner voice, to improve your future. Okay, instead of ignoring it. All right. So what ends up happening for you, the Three of Pentacles, some of you are going to need help from somebody here. You are going to move into a new direction after ignoring something for so long. You're going to realize, you know what? I need to take action on this, and it's going to improve and it's going to get better, but it's only going to improve and get better when you recognize what needs to change. Okay. So let's get some advice for you. What is the advice? Aries, your biggest piece of advice here is the Strength in reverse, the King of Pentacles in reverse, and the Five of Swords in reverse. Your biggest piece of advice is to recognize what is worthy of your energy, what is worthy of your investment, your time, your energy, your resources. This is not about fighting battles that are not worth fighting. Some of you are going to realize that certain things in your life are not worth fighting. It's better to just deal with the situation as it comes. When it shows up, take responsibility for it. Some of you are going to accept the fact that, you know, something here is not for you. You're going to accept the fact that, okay, there's an issue here. Let's face it head on. Let's deal with it. This is about standing up for yourself, but standing up for yourself in a way where you can get back on the right path. You can have that inner strength. You can, you know, have control over your resources. You can have the ability to form and create structure in your life without having to be, you know, combative, right? Because I think what you're learning here now is you're learning what is worth fighting for and what isn't worth fighting for. You know, if somebody is a certain way, is it worth fighting for? Or is it worth just saying, you know what, I don't need to expend my energy on that. So I think a lot of you are going to realize and learn what's worth fighting for and what's not. And the things that are not worth fighting for, you can preserve your energy for something way better, right? So this is a big part of your advice. And this is what Saturn's going to teach you over the next 2.5 years. That some things are just not worth fighting over. It's not worth getting worked up about unless it's pertaining, you know, to your growth and your awareness and your future. Okay. So Aries, this is what I have for you. I hope this reading helped. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.